Hey, listeners, before we get into today's episode number 83, I have something important to share. You might have noticed that I took some time away from In the Suite, and that's because of a major medical crisis and a life-threatening condition. I will share it with you in the next episode. That would be number 84. That'll probably be out later this month. So keep a lookout on that. And I want to thank you so much for believing in me and supporting me through this really, really very difficult time. And if you want to keep up for what's going on with me, please remember to follow me on Instagram at Tina C. Powell, at In the Suite Pod. Also, I've got 2 accounts. And to connect with me on LinkedIn, if we're not connected already, you can also always email me at tina@growintentionally.com. And thank you again. I'm so grateful for your support, your friendship, and your listenership. God bless you and your family. Hi, this is Tina Powell, host of In the Suite, where I sit down with top women leaders and some of the biggest names in the financial services and the wealth management industry. Together, we'll discover some of their best secrets and top strategies to grow a great business, build a strong brand, and lead teams in the 21st century. I hope you'll enjoy hearing their amazing personal stories of triumph, trepidation, and transformation in hopes of becoming better leaders ourselves. The time for you to lead is now, and you're in the suite. Welcome to an exciting episode of In the Suite. Today, we are taking you on an exciting journey to the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas for the highly anticipated 2nd annual Jolt Financial Advisor Marketing Conference. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of financial advisor marketing as we bring you the highlights of this event that took place from May 3rd to May 5th. But wait, there's more. This episode is extra special because it's divided into 2 parts. In the first half, we'll treat you to a series of live on-the-spot interviews from the conference's opening party. We're proud to mention that our very own marketing agency Intentionally was the key sponsor of this fantastic event. So let's give a huge shout out to our incredible CEO and co-founders, Kelly Waltrick and Megan Richter, for their unwavering support. Now, let's talk about the lineup of phenomenal guests you'll hear from in these amazing interviews. Klein from Nitrogen, Steph Bogan, the powerhouse behind Limitless Advisor, Gibson Bosworth, a brilliant storyteller and creative mind driving RFG Advisory, Diana Cabrices, the go-to consultant at Diana Cabrices Consulting, Francesca McLin, an esteemed collaborator at Snappy Kraken, Sheryl Hickerson, the trailblazing force behind Females in Finance, Julie Johnson, the expert in XY communication, Mary Kate Glick, the driving force at Carson Group, Johnny Swift, a next-gen force at Impact Communications, Domenick, DeAndrea, the visionary at Dandara Wealth Management, and last but not least, Johnny Sanquist, the marketing extraordinaire from 3 Crowns Marketing.
Aaron Klein, oh my God, I'm so glad that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God, it's so great to see you.
It is great to see you. The world is happy that you are here. And I don't just mean Jolt, like the entire world is happy that you're here.
I feel very blessed. I'm thankful to God. And I've got a lot to be grateful for.
You do.
And a lot of good is going to come.
But the rest of us have a lot to be grateful for that you are here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. For the one person that doesn't know who you are right now,
very nice of you to say.
I almost want you to say that because you're not going to be able to say this next week.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
This is my last week as CEO of Riskalyze.
Exactly.
And hopefully that doesn't freak anybody out because I will still be the CEO of the company. We're just going to have a new name next Tuesday. It's true.
And there's no way that I can bribe you right now?
I can't. I'm telling you, especially if I did it on tape, for crying out loud. They'd lean me up against the wall and shoot me.
Oh, my God.
But it's exciting. You know, we're looking at the future, and here's the deal. Like, we realize that as much as we've grown, we've built for a decade, we've been building this growth platform for wealth management firms, helping wealth management firms grow by turning leads into meetings, meetings into valued clients, and clients into referral champions. That's what we've been doing for a decade. But I'll tell you what, the first thing we built was the risk number, and we named the company Riskalyze after it. And guess what? Everybody today still walks through our front door going, I'm looking for a risk tolerance solution, and then they stumble upon a growth platform.
Yeah.
And what we realized is, you look a few years out in the future, like, our company is going to be twice as big if we play our cards right, but we need the second half of our customers to walk through the door looking for a growth platform and finding one, instead of just stumbling over one.
So this leads me to my awesome question,
Okay.
which feeds right into this whole theme. What's the one thing that you're being intentional in your business about this year?
Well, I mean, since we're doing a rebrand, I would have to say spelling. Like, we've got a lot of things to print, t-shirts and everything else. So we had to get it spelled correctly on everything.
Wow.
So that's been, but I joke, but it's been a very intentional 6-9 months of work getting ready for this moment. So we're excited about it next week. But yes, spelling. We had to be very good at spelling, or it was going to be a bad day.
Yeah,
right?
and really good at finding URLs and all of that stuff too.
That's right.
All of your social.
That's right.
I've always been such a Riskalyze fan, and we were utilizing Riskalyze way back when, and that was part of our prospect lead gen.
Visionaries.
It was awesome.
You and Mark were visionaries.
And then I literally remember being able to give a couple the Riskalyze tolerance right from their phone. And so the first time, that was so huge because both women and men felt respected.
Totally. Because for so often we just focus on one party sitting in front of us.
Exactly.
So when we can say, let's both pull this up on our phones and go through it, like, absolutely. Let's put these partners on equal footing.
Well,
I love
congratulations to you, Casey,
Thank
all
you.
of the Riskalyze family.
Thank you.
And I can't wait.
It's going to be a big day.
We're really, really excited.
Thank you, Tina.
Congratulations, Aaron. Thanks so much for making time for us.
For sure.
Gibson, Bosworth, great to see you here at the Jolt opening party. So excited. Let everybody know who you are and your company.
Hi, I'm Gibson Bosworth. I'm the creative director at RFG Advisory, and we're a platform for independent advisors, and we help them tell their stories and unleash their growth potential.
Absolutely. We're big fans of RFG and of Limitless Advisor too, coaching. RFG, what's the one thing that you're being intentional around your business this year?
I think it's owning our roles for advisors and for our team. I think it's being passionate about what you do. I think it's translating that passion to the content that you create, what you tell your clients, how you speak to people, really investing in yourself to be better, to get 1% better every single day, and to create something bigger than yourself. Everything is so, everybody thinks about themselves, but when you really start thinking about the bigger picture and how you can impact others, that's where you can make a true difference.
Gosh, you guys are so inspiring. Bam, we are live here from the Jolt opening kickoff party. Woo! Okay, so I'm with you, Diana Cabrices. What do you think so far?
So far, so good. Actually, so far, so great. Seeing you has obviously been a highlight.
Thank
you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
And seeing everybody else has been just awesome. We're all in one place.
Thank you. So tell the world what you're doing right now.
I'm doing a lot of things, but I am evangelizing wealth tech brands that I think are making a real difference in the industry, that are helping advisors, and I'm having a lot of fun.
And the name of your company?
Diana Cabrices Consulting.
Woo!
For now.
So here's what we're asking, what's the one thing this year in your business that you're being intentional about?
I love this question because I am being very intentional about the clients that I take on.
Wow.
With the nature of the role, it's really important to me that I take my time in deciding where do I really want to partner, which angle, which corner of the industry, which category do I think is really moving the needle for advisors. And, in launching, I could take on 4 clients and say, okay, I'm done. But I didn't do that. I was more intentional, and I said, I don't care if it takes 6 months. I don't care if it takes 8 months. I want to be intentional about who I partner with. That's what I'm doing this year.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much, Diana Cabrices. Woo!
I love you.
Who are you and where are you from?
I'm Francesca McLin. I split my time between Baltimore, Maryland, and Western North Carolina.
Awesome. And what's the name of your company?
I'm with Tenfold Impact. We're growth consultants. We help advisors accelerate their revenue with their marketing, sales, and CX.
Great. So Francesca, we're asking people here at the Jolt conference, what's the one thing in your business that you're being really intentional about?
Ooh, that's a great question. We're pretty new, and we're being really intentional about our vision and how our business supports our life. And we want to make sure that we have a business that supports the things that are most important to us and gives us the time we want to live an amazing life.
I'm so excited for you because I know you in a previous life when you were at Snappy Kraken. I always admired your passion and your exuberance for whatever it is that you're doing.
Thank you.
So good luck to you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
And congrats on the business.
Thank you.
Sheryl, Hickerson, great to see you here at Jolt Conference kickoff party. Really, really excited. The whole world knows who you are already, but I want to let everybody know who doesn't know, the 1 or 2 people who are listening, what do you do and where you're from?
What do? I support women who work in financial services and male allies who champion those efforts. And I work with, and mostly registered investment advisors, but really everybody in financial services, quite truly.
Great. And your company's Females in Finance?
Females in Finance.
And you are a community of over 4,100.
4,200 now.
4,200. Congratulations.
I know, it's nuts.
That's awesome. So what we're doing is we're asking people, how are they being intentional around their business this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest intention out that we're setting at Females in Finance is providing programs for any financial professional to open that door and get through to the support that they need. So whether it's a male ally, you're LGBTQ, you are Latinx, Hispanic, the list goes on. We're going to have programs around that they can open that door, get into the support that they need, the networking they need, the workshops, the trainings, etc. And it's going to be all new, and you'll see a whole new front of the website coming and everything this summer.
Wow. Well, I mean, you're in my feed every day. I'm getting your newsletters. You are bionic socialite for sure. So thank you for all the work that you're doing, Sheryl, and thanks for spending time with us here.
And thank you for everything you do for us at Females in Finance too, being on our board. I really appreciate it.
Honored. Okay, so Julie Johnson, great to see you here at the Jolt opening kickoff party.
Tina, it is so much fun to be here. It's kind of a whirlwind, and I can see now why everyone is like, oh my God, Julie, you've got to be there.
Yeah, so tell everybody who what your company is.
So it's XY Communication. And we focus specifically on communication and connection between generations and also genders. Just making sure communication is strong, building trust, all that good stuff.
Okay. And how are you being intentional around your business this year? That's the one question we're asking.
I love that question. I think it's so important that we intentionally make people feel comfortable and confident in becoming more vulnerable and becoming more emotionally connected, because those are aspects that absolutely are required when building trust, either advisor to advisor within teams or between advisors and their clients and or prospects. So the intention is building trust.
I love that. Well, certainly the industry needs it. So thank you for spending a few minutes with us, Julie.
Appreciate it so much.
It's great to see you here at Jolt at the opening party. Carson Group is a sponsor, Intentionally is a sponsor.
Yes.
Really happy to be here right now with you.
Me too, and I love being co-sponsors with you. That is my favorite.
Well, so for the few people that don't know who you are, you're at Carson Group. If you could just explain your role.
Yeah, of course. I run advisor marketing over at Carson Group, and that means that I do all of the fun work to reach out to independent advisors and help them understand better how to find their freedom, how to love their business as much as they work on running their business.
That's a great thing, and we love Carson. We've always been big fans. So what we're doing is we're asking business leaders tonight, what's the one thing that they're really being intentional around their business this year?
You know,
for you?
That's a really good question. And for us at Carson, every leader has one thing that they're very focused on, and this year is the year of maniacal focus, right? And for me, a large part of my focus is really geared toward unpacking the question of, hey man, we've been talking about this since the mid-90s. Why are there not more women in this industry? We've had an awful lot of conversations, everybody. Why do women keep leaving? Why can't we get this industry to look the way that it should, to look like the people that it's serving? Because you know, Tina, in the next 3 years, we're going to be looking at a $30 trillion wealth transfer to women. And do you know who 70% of women say they want to work with? Other women as advisors. That's the answer. And where are they going to find those women? They won't find them. And so myself and my colleague, Dr. Julie Reagan, are extremely committed to figuring out not just the answer to the question of why, but what is it that we can do now? Because the one thing we have determined is, hey, it's not a recruitment problem. It's a retention problem. Wow. There is something about the industry that drives women out of it. So that's very much where my focus is.
I love it. Congratulations. That gives us a lot of, that's going to put a lot of things in momentum. You've got the study that Carson's doing, too, that you've done with women. You've done so much already. So look forward to seeing Carson excel and excel represent and lots of great things. So thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Of course, Tina. Thank you for joining me.
It's awesome to see you here at the Jolt
It's so
kickoff
good to see
party.
you, my friend.
I couldn't wait to see you.
I couldn't wait to see you too. It's so good to see you out and about again.
Oh my God, the last time we were together was at the Market Council Summit.
Yes, I'm ready to sing karaoke right now.
Okay, we've got to plan our
we need to figure out what our duet is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm thinking Islands in the Stream would be really funny.
That could be really cool. I was also thinking like It Takes Two.
Ooh, I like it. I've got raw bass in my heart right now.
Oh my God.
You can be DJ Z-Rock.
Oh my God, that's so great. Well, so tell everybody who your company is and what you do.
Well, I work with Integrated Partners. I'm their Chief Content Officer. I'd like to say any place I go, I have the fun job. While all of these people here are worried about wealth management, numbers, interest rates, I get to write and create content and tell stories that, really both inform, educate, and entertain at the same time. So I really do get the fun job everywhere I go.
You certainly do. And fun follows you, Ackermann. That's it. Fun follows you. So what's the one thing that you're being intentional on your business this year? It's a question that we're asking here at the party.
It's so interesting because I'm a dreamer, you know that. I'm a guy who always has another idea in his head, but I'm trying to be really intentional about creating process and workflows. Integrated has grown so dramatically over the past year. We completed our first major deal this year, a big $2.25 billion acquisition.
Wow.
So it's a big year of growth, and I think we're going to see more growth. If you don't have the right processes and workflows in place, you can have all the dreams you want, but then you can't execute them over and over and over again. You know, I have a great podcast. I have some amazing content ideas always. You know, we've shot some great video. We just finished our annual conference, but if you don't have processes, you're not going to be able to do for the next advisor the amazing thing you're doing for the advisor today.
That's great. Inspiring words. Matt Ackermann, so great to see you.
It's great to see you, my friend.
Can't wait to spend time here at Jolt. Thanks for making the time for us.
Always have time for you.
Hey, Johnny Swift, great to see you.
Hey Tina, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Great, thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to be sitting down with you. For those who don't know who you are, just let everybody know who you are and the name of your firm and what you do.
I'm Johnny Swift, Vice President of Impact Communications. We're a PR firm in the industry.
Yeah, and so great to see you. And of course, we love Marie. Sorry she's not here. You'll give her our best.
Of course.
And we're asking business leaders, what's the one thing that you're being intentional around your business this year?
Well, one of the main things I'm being intentional with my client work is focusing on activities that are really going to move the needle, trying to cut out some of the busy work, you know, focusing on those opportunities that are really going to make a difference in their business and really move the needle for their firm.
That's great. Great advice. Well, it's great to see you here at Jolt. And this is just kicking off right now at this kickoff party. So looking forward to seeing you throughout the conference, Johnny.
Me too. I'm looking forward to your session tomorrow.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Directly from LinkedIn, right here in front of me, Domenick, DeAndrea is in the house of Jolt, the kickoff party. So great to see you, Domenick.
So great to see you too, Tina.
I'm so thankful that you made time for me today.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't wait to bring you on the pod here and let everybody know who you are and where you're from.
Domenick DeAndrea of Dandara Wealth Management out of Long Island, New York. And you know, our primary audience that we help is either the 401k market or pre-retirees into retirees, because we found that those are the areas that need the most help. You know, most people don't. You know, they're great at building up the accumulation, but they don't know how to build the retirement income distribution strategy.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think that you hit it right on the head. You can definitely start to see a focus now on that decumulation phase and the retirement income. So I really applaud the work that you're doing over there. So we're asking the question today, what's the one thing that you're being intentional on your business this year?
The biggest thing intentionally that we are doing is we're trying to build up our social media presence to get our story out there more and more so people know how to find us and know that we can serve them and help them in their market.
I love that. Are you concentrating on different platforms, or how are you thinking about those efforts?
LinkedIn has been my primary platform that I've used. I put some stuff on Facebook. Twitter, based on some things that have been told to me from other marketers in the industry, I'm going to start ramping Twitter up a little more now. The advice I give to people is don't try to attack everything at once. I built up LinkedIn. I'm happy the way it's going, so now I'm going to start attacking Twitter.
That's great. And everybody listening, find Domenick DeAndrea on LinkedIn. Follow him on social. And what a pleasure. Thanks so much for making time for us.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Coyle, great to see you here at the Jolt opening party. Thanks so much for making time for us.
Absolutely, great to be here.
So let everybody know who your company is and where you're from, what you do.
So David Coyle, I head up business development at AdvisorEngine. We're located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and just excited to be here at Jolt and learning what's important to advisors and how they can market their company better, and just really listen to the industry that we serve.
Yeah, so we're over it intentionally. It's no secret we're big AdvisorEngine fans, and I want to thank AdvisorEngine for some of the swag. Erica Ellis brought back some awesome pickleball, and
yeah.
now my coveted white long sleeve tee. AdvisorEngine is the best. I have it with me here. I told my fiance he's gonna have to fight me to the death for that shirt. I love it so much. So, one of the things that we're asking, David, is we're asking business owners and business leaders, what's the one thing that they're being intentional on their business this year? What is it for you?
I think for AdvisorEngine, our whole team is really listening to our clients on where they want the tech to go. Right? Tech gets complicated. Technology really needs to help advisors scale and service their clients better. So, attending Jolt and the work we're doing with our existing clients and prospects is understanding, where is their business going and how can we be better tech partners with them to help them grow and scale their business.
Well, I love the idea, and I think that you've been really, to surround yourself in a room here with over 500 advisors is a great place. It's a great opportunity for all the companies in this room to understand what's going on in the ecosystem. So I applaud you and what AdvisorEngine's doing. Thank you. We're looking forward to learning this week, and I can't say enough about the Intentionally team. So thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, Johnny Sanquist, great to see you here at Jolt. I have been looking forward, counting the minutes, the days. I'm so excited that we're here right now.
You too, Tina. I have been looking forward to seeing you literally all year. This is a capstone of 2023 for me right now. I'm so excited to be with you.
I have got to also too, I would be remiss if I didn't say to thank you to you and Teresa for all of the support, and especially my, I won't curse here, but SAF. I'll give you the acronym later, ladies and gentlemen, but all of the gifts really came in such handy at an incredible time with my surgery. So I'm so excited that part's done. We turned the chapter. We're here at Jolt. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So I am Johnny Sanquist, and I am the founder and CEO of 3 Crowns Copywriting and Marketing. We're a full-service digital marketing agency partner for advisors and for wealth tech firms. So we'll do branding, we'll do websites, we'll do outsourced digital marketing, everything you need. We partner with folks on it.
Love it, and love the work that you've done with your clients and in the advisor community. You've made a wonderful name for yourself. So what we're doing is we're asking business owners and business leaders, what's the one thing that they're being intentional around their business this year?
So 2023 is an interesting year. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but stock market's weird, economy's weird, and so when things get weird around you, what I find is most important is to focus on yourself, those close to you, and being present, right? And so what we're doing from a business perspective is really that, how can we what can we control, right? What we can control is helping our people, taking care of them, helping them get better in their jobs, in their work, and taking care of our clients that we have right now. And so, I think Jolt's actually a great picture of how we're doing that. So I've got 2 of our team members with me here this week. I've got Sydney and Justine. Sydney runs our social media. Justine is our all-star content writer. They're both incredible. They're both, 3 Crowns wouldn't be what it is without each of them. And this is the first industry event for both of them. So we're intentionally just trying to invest in their development, not just professionally, but also personally. I want them to get out here and network with people and make a name for themselves with people, so that everybody knows 3 Crowns is this strong team of many people. It's not just Johnny coming out all the time. Sydney and Justine are doing all this amazing creative work too. And so having them here, investing in them, is how we're trying to be intentional about helping ourselves grow this year in, what's kind of a weird year.
I've been so inspired by these conversations and just looking at your team and just seeing the look on their faces. I give you so much credit as a business owner that you have enough self-awareness and enough industry awareness to know that to bring them here they get to really see the impact of the work that they do. And financial services is such a hard industry to work in, but it's the most rewarding because of all the people that we're able to serve. So I give you so much credit. It's really inspiring to hear that.
Well, I think like serving people is everything that we do, right? Like we're very similar to the work that you do intentionally. And what it comes down to is like, how do we help? I think for a marketing company like us, it's how do you help advisors serve their clients better? Like that's the end goal of what we do, right? It's like, how do we help advisors communicate better so that their clients live better lives? So like, we don't always see like that next step because we're not always, we're not engaged directly with the clients of advisors. But that's what we're trying to get to here. We're just trying to lift up everybody else by helping people become better communicators, more empathetic, just be able to clarify the great work that they're doing in a really impactful way, right? Like, I think that's what we're about.
So great.
Yeah.
Such a great message to end on, too. Johnny Sanquist, looking forward to seeing you here at Jolt and spending some time. Thanks so much for making the time and introducing the team members, too. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, Tina. It's always so great to see you.
Thank you.
Now, let's move on to the second half of our episode. We have a real treat for you as we replay my panel discussion on personal branding from Jolt. Joining me for this insightful conversation are some true powerhouses in the industry. We've got Sheryl Hickerson, the CEO of Females in Finance, Lindsay Gladstone, the Vice President of Snappy Kraken, and Kian Salazada, the Vice President of Finance at LPL Financial. So if you're looking for practical tips and guidance to boost your personal brand, this is the segment that you've been waiting for. So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready to be inspired in the suite.
We have Partner and Chief Growth Officer with Intentionally, Tina Powell. And to her left, we have VP of Finance with LPL Financial, Kian Salahizadeh. And on his left, last but not least, we have CEO of Females in Finance, Sheryl Hickerson. And I should say, last but not least, we have Snappy Kraken's very own VP of Marketing, Lindsay Gladstone, and she is going to be moderating today's
Hi, guys. Oh, I don't think my mic's on. Testing. Hi, guys. What a beautiful audience and turnout. Thank you so much for joining us today. As the lovely lady mentioned, today we're going to be focusing on personal branding and how to make authentic, genuine, and profitable connections on social media. We have a lot in store for you, and I just want to start off by saying this isn't going to be one of your normal panels where it's just a bunch of talking heads on stage. We want to make sure that you leave with at least one tactic that you can implement in your personal branding and social media strategy today. And by doing so, we have a few things up our sleeve. Number one, we want engagement from you. We know that you chose to be here for a specific reason because this topic resonates with you. We want to make sure that you have a chance to ask your burning questions to the audience. Secondly, at the end of the panel, you're going to have a chance to sign up for key takeaways. We're going to have a QR code on the screen. You can scan it. We're going to send you an email next week. We're going to include all of our social media handles, and we're going to hold you personally accountable. You can take those juicy tactics you learned today, do your thing, put it out in the universe on social media, tag us, and we will single-handedly engage with your posts and send you personalized feedback to make sure that what you learned today is being implemented well, and that you're getting value out of today's session. So we're going to dive right in. We had this great introduction earlier. We know who's sitting to my left. So I want to dive into the topic at hand. And first and foremost, let's talk about the buzzword personal branding. This is something that we hear a lot in the marketing industry, within the industry, and I think it means a lot of things to different people. So first and foremost, Tina, tell us a little bit about what personal branding means to you.
And I love it that you're all here. Thank you so much for being here. It's a timely topic, Lindsay, and it's a great question. So the reason that we're talking about personal brand is I want to first make a distinction between a personal brand and a company brand, because how you attack and how you strategize your social media efforts and your content marketing efforts and everything that you do in your business, they are both distinct. So we all know what a company brand stands for. Snappy Kraken is a great example. Comparing and contrasting that with a personal brand. A personal brand is the totality of who you are. It's your reputation. And where I think that the industry is going wrong on that is that thinking that personal brand equals social media presence. A social media presence is part of that brand, but it's not the totality of that brand. So your personal brand is how you show up in the world. It's your reputation. Are you driven? Are you community driven? Are you inspiring? Are you educational? Do you show up to meetings on time? Do you show up prepared? Well, where did you go to school? How did you grow up? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What lights you up in the universe? That is the totality of your personal brand. And whether or not that you're using that brand right now on social media and amplifying that brand, regardless, every single one of you has a personal brand, whether you like it or not. You have the ability to affect that perception and share more of that story and who you are. But personal brand is basically your reputation. It's the totality of everything you are. Part of that is physical, and then part of it is that whole digital presence.
100%. I love it. Kian, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Tina covered it pretty well. I would say, just be genuine about it. That's an important piece, and be consistent and persistent with it as well. So it's something that you can develop over time, but be yourself. Don't try to force yourself to be something you're not, and I think people will appreciate that.
I love it. Thanks for that. So now that we have better clarity on the topic at hand today, I want to make sure that you have all of your burning questions answered. We have content, we have really great live examples of making genuine and profitable connections on social media. But if anybody has any questions at this moment, we want to make sure your questions are answered. Raise your hand if you have something to ask, if you have something to say, or you have an idea of a subject matter that you would like us to touch on today. Might be too early? Okay. Okay, I think we have a question over here at the back. We're going to bring a mic to you, sir. Thanks for volunteering.
See, that's an example of a personal brand right now, right?
Oh, it is.
Love it. Not afraid. Bold.
My main social media site is LinkedIn, so I want to know how or what's the best way to get good connections there. I try to be personable when I ask for the connection, but then I don't go straight after a sale. I try to build a relationship.
Oh, thank you. So just to clarify, you're speaking actual connections, like followers connecting with individuals on the platform, right?
Right.
Perfect.
With the intent of getting business.
Got it. Anyone want to field that one?
Me.
Cheryl,
sorry.
Take it away.
Because I feel so passionate about that particular one, and everyone please add in. Thank you for saying that you were reaching out and it wasn't to to get to know somebody, because how many of you are so sick of the people who thank you? All the hands should be raised, all of them, so I can send it to LinkedIn. And so I think that, there were good examples in the opening keynote of how to behave and do all of these things. But all too often, I find that people will say, hey, I saw you here and I want to connect, and you're almost like waiting for, oh, okay, and next, and I don't know, have you guys ever seen there was a movie like and then I want to know what else I'm supposed to do. We're not very good with call to actions. And so one of the things that I challenge a lot of the members at Females in Finance to do is go out and actually, if you haven't talked to somebody in a while, just say to them, it's been a while, we've been connected. I really would like to learn about who you are and what you do. That's a very genuine ask. And then make the time and then show up. Do not cancel them because a client meeting came in. Do not cancel them because you just thought they were boring after all. Show up, because sometimes people will surprise you and you'll go on that call and they may not be the client for you, but they know 10 people who are. So I love the fact that you asked that particular question, because it is very real and very applicable.
I love that. Thank you, Cheryl. Did anyone else want to add anything to that?
I would just say is that, LinkedIn is definitely every single advisor and business owner and business leader in this room should be utilizing the platform and making sure that your profile is optimized. I think from Microsoft's 10K report, there's 830 million users on LinkedIn. 48% of those users are active monthly. So we can all do the math. Another interesting statistic is that 41% of millionaires have a LinkedIn presence. So, there's this big talk about generational wealth transfer. Well, you know what? You've got to be in it to win it. And you've got to be there. People will still want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. I love Sheryl's suggestion, and she has a huge amount of LinkedIn followers. And just taking a page out of her playbook and being genuine and community and service oriented is a great way to grow your connection base.
I love that. And just to add to that, I love that your approach isn't to ask for the deal right away, because you're not going to ask someone to marry you that you met yesterday. I love that analogy, and I use it quite often. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much for the question. Was there anybody else that wanted to raise their hand before we move on? Yes, lovely lady in the brown, go for it.
If an advisor is struggling with kind of defining their personal brand, do any of you have recommendations as far as what kind of the first step or what the first prompt or something like that might be?
Yeah, I think it goes back to I think part of it goes back to the origin story of why they're an advisor in the first place. What drew them into the profession? And we have Denise Sprung, right here, and Larry Sprung, I think, is a great example of that. We know the ethos of what Larry Sprung stands for.
Yeah, he's in a hockey rink. Sorry.
I
was looking for him. I didn't recognize him.
What is that origin story that brought the advisor to the profession in the first place? Why do they exist? And a lot of that is rooted within the organization. The organization's mission and the advisor's mission are 9 times out of 10 congruent and in parity with one another. So that's a great way to start. I think the next place to start, and we all struggle with this, all of us here, and that is producing content around that personal brand. Either you're good at podcasting, you're good at video, you're good at writing, you're good at taking pictures, and then creating a narrative like Scott McKillop does from First Ascent Asset Management. First Ascent, they were just bought by GeoWealth, So you have to do what's in harmony with your being and what you can replicate over and over and over and over again. For me, it's podcasting. I absolutely love it. I could podcast every single week. And it's for me, time just stands still. Yes, I love to write, but pick one modality. So going back to, I'm sorry, I'm so long-winded here. Values, identify what that origin story are, what that story is, the values that correlate to that origin story, and then the content creation around that story. If I pick one medium and one medium only, and do that well over and over again.
Great question. And I think we'll take one more before we move on. Yes, sir, in the blue blazer, down front.
Is there a downside to your personal brand being bigger than your business's brand?
Great question. Who'd like to field that one? Sheryl?
I will.
Okay.
So, a lot of times people say to me, females in finance is Sheryl, and it is. I infuse a lot of who I am into it, and I would say that definitely I have more followers than my own business does. I talk probably a lot more personally on my stuff than I do, obviously, on the business. And I don't think it has to be an either or both or whatever. I think that my business became what it was because of who I am. And I'm not willing to, I don't put a lot of effort into trying to make Females in Finance the biggest part of the brand. I try to go out and do what I do best, which is actually talking about all of you. And I think, so you picking one of them, it's kind of like you talked about the modalities of things. I almost picked up personas as well. I focus in, one of the biggest concerns somebody asked me was, I got married in 2019, and for the very first time in my life, I ever changed my last name. And everybody, even my husband was like, you're going to change your name? I'm like, I am going to change my name. We are committed. This is it. This doesn't work out. I'm still staying Sheryl Hickerson. And, but you know what? It literally didn't even blip for a second. And because they know me as Sheryl, and they know I'm going to show up. So it didn't matter if I was Sheryl Brown or if I was Sheryl Hickerson. both of those people are committed to females in finance. And so my personal brand continues to grow and grow. Whereas my business brand, yes, it is going very, very, steadily that way too. So I don't think, I think that you are your business if you are the owner of it, especially.
I want to chime in here too, just really fast, and that is that I tweeted out a Wall Street Journal story that said that a person is more likely to buy from the organization when there is both the business brand and the personal brand. So again, a lot of us here, we are servants to our clients. The work that you all are doing as advisors, I put that on such a high level. And again, the ultimate goal is to drive a conversation and to determine whether or not that's a right fit. And what we're here to tell you is that through a strong personal brand, you're more likely to have that conversation. You're more likely for people to put you in a consideration set because you did show up and they know what you stand for.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. We're going to hold the rest of the questions. If we have some time, we'll definitely talk about after. But again, we're going to send an e-blast later this week, and we'll make sure that we address all of your questions one-on-one. So I want to switch gears now. I want to talk about expectation setting and goal setting and really going at your personal branding strategy and making those authentic connections with the right goals in mind. So Sheryl, I want to talk to you a little bit about vanity metrics. And I know that there are some data points that we all really get hung up on when we pursue a social media strategy. Can you give me an example of some of the wrong data metrics to be looking at to gauge success?
Yeah, I go back to, it sounds kind of crazy, but for me, I go back to people will come to me and say, Sheryl, I only have 100 followers. I only have, whatever. And I remember one time, it sounds crazy, but I looked at it was a Weight Watchers meeting, and you can never say you only lost 1 pound. They actually frown on you doing that because only means you're discounting somehow the loss itself. And I feel like the same way, especially with people, it's amplified if it's people. So what if you only helped one person? That's great. That's actually really great things. I gave an example one time of talking about the vanity metrics of things. How many of you, those 100 people that are following you, you probably know all 100 of them. That is 100% engagement with the people that you're meaning to hit. I did some numbers one time based off of some big names out there. McDonald's, we've heard of McDonald's, we've heard of Ellen DeGeneres, for example, or many other names out there. And I actually took some of their posts and did some of the actual engagement metrics to see what it is. Oftentimes, what you think is a big name, they're getting less than 1% of their followers are actually engaging with their stuff.
That's right.
Less than 1%. Whereas I picked random advisors in the room, went in and looked at their metrics and did it, and they were engaging with 48, 57%. And that's a fabulous number. So we're really good at numbers. Let's lean into the thing that we do best, which is in that number business. And instead of saying we only have, say, I get to have these followers, and then make sure you're talking to them. Just normal people talk.
I love it. It's almost like focusing on the quality versus quantity
all the time.
Of it.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, and I would love to hear from you, Tina, on this, we know that our talk is about making genuine and profitable connections, but I think people get into trouble when they really focus only on the profit metrics, right? So to flip it to the other side, what are some of the goals that we should be looking at to be able to gauge the efficacy of our efforts?
So it should be your own cadence and your own activity on LinkedIn. So let's go through a couple of examples. And right now the algorithm is working in favor if you actually engage on other people's posts. So let's say that Tina posts a social media update from this panel right now. So I post the update, I post the message, I tag everybody here. The next thing that I should be doing is actually going back into LinkedIn to my feed and engaging on other people's posts. LinkedIn actually likes to see that level of engagement from me. So in answer to the question, Lindsay, what should be our metrics are our own behaviors around yes, did I reach out to 10 people? Did I try to establish 10 new connections? Check the box. Did I publish a LinkedIn newsletter this week? Yes, check the box. Did I engage on other people's posts and make a comment or reaction? Did I reshare something? Yes, check the box. Right now also too, I'm part of a cohort on LinkedIn where I'm being asked to contribute in articles. So LinkedIn has like an artificial intelligence generated article, and every day it prompts me. And you better believe it that I do that. And part of that is a selfish motive because I'm trying to say, hey, I'll give you a little bit, and now you give me a little bit. Hey, we've got this awesome post from Jolt Conference, kind of show it to more people. So be aware that one hand washes the other on LinkedIn. And, you know, don't just like put something out there. The platform is rewarding you for your own engagement behavior. Be cognizant about that and make a goal around that each day.
I love it. It's very much so about the give and take.
Absolutely.
Yes. Fantastic. So we're going to switch gears a little bit here. I want to talk about sharing personally to build connections and emotional investment. And we've been hearing this buzzword humanization across the industry, across marketing for quite some time now. And we have some really great examples that we're going to show of this being done well. But first, I wanted to turn it over to Tina. What is your perception of humanization? What does that mean to you?
So humanization, and it means different things for different people. We all have a comfort level and a vulnerability about us. Let's just like acknowledge that. Sharing on social media is a very raw thing. It takes a while to get comfortable. Not everybody's going to be comfortable with it. Not everybody should do it. You should do it across like across your own like feelings about yourself. I share a lot. Sheryl, I know you share a lot. Kian, you share, right? Everybody's comfort level is a little bit different. What we're going to be showing you these is examples are like the essence of what it means to be like human. Okay, and we saw it today in Robert Sophia. The opening to Jolt was freaking brilliant today. It was brilliant. People remember human to human connection. Robert Sophia defined it brilliantly. What marketing is like human connections at scale. Well, if you're going to have a human connection, you've got to be human in your social media and your posts. So we've put together some great examples that I think that you'll inspire, that show the real person, the real people behind the post.
100%. We didn't pay her to say that either. She just said that organically. So, Kian, I know you've been a bit quiet over there. I wanted to know if you had anything to add to what Tina was saying regarding humanization before we discuss this great example that you prepared for us.
Yeah, so I would basically say, I guess following up on that, yeah, it's okay to be vulnerable when you're putting yourself out there on social media. I have a much bigger presence on Twitter than LinkedIn, but the same thing applies. You know, you don't have to try to conform to what you think other people necessarily want to see. It's okay to have a different approach. Makes yourself stand out a little bit more. In the end, I think people are going to relate to you a lot more because they understand that, yeah, I've been through some of the same aspects in my life, and that ties in a little bit with what this first screen grab is about.
Tell us why this is so powerful to you to depict humanization.
So Dr. Royney, he goes by Surgify on Twitter. I'm guessing a lot of you are probably familiar with him at this point or have seen him, but one of the things that he started out with is posting a video that was just brutally honest about his life, his upbringing, and then that's really, he's I guess leveraged that or turned that into his whole persona on Twitter, and he continues to be that way, where he likes to question things. He doesn't go with the rest of the population, or a lot of the population out there. He's very just I guess honest about things, and confronts people about issues, and I think it's refreshing because a lot of what you read on there or see on there is just the same stuff. It's either related to very formal business posts or other things, and then when I see his content, I'm always looking forward to it because I'm wondering what sort of either controversy is he going to get into next that is really just asking people questions that they should be asked or putting people on the spot. And that sort of genuine connection building, I think, is really important. He does a fantastic job of that just on a regular basis.
You know what I like about him? He's not afraid to disagree with you. It's not like love festing.
Yep.
And I get so, like, it's like people are all unicorns, Skittles,
That's right.
and things like, and he's like, yeah, no. And he just, and it says it about financial services. So you make some of us sit back sometimes and look at each other and go, wait a second, so are we doing this right? And he's a surgeon.
That's right, yeah, he's a surgeon, so
He's a surgeon.
Finance is not even his main field. But.
Yeah. I know somebody else in the audience who does that well, Mr. Halloran.
Yeah.
Calling you out.
Thank you.
All right, we have a really great video example that we're going to dive into that Tina's provided, and it's Alex's mom, and you're probably wondering, who the heck is Alex and why do I care about his mom? But before we play the video, Tina, I know that you're exceptionally passionate about sharing personally, but I think the audience would be really curious to know, and myself personally, how do you know when you're going too personal and you're oversharing? What's that fine line look like?
Yeah, so it's like being really uncomfortable. It's being uncomfortable before you even post something. So like allow yourself to really think through the action and the activity before you even get there. I mean, look, and things can be deleted. Yes, there's an archive forever, but I think really understand and really know yourself and know the goals. Ultimately, social media and your post should be providing value to your connections and the people who follow you. Mm-hmm. And so ask yourself the question, have a little litmus test for yourself. You know, is this on brand? Am I providing value here? Is this accomplishing the goals that I want? So that you never find yourself in the position. And if you did, if it was something that you regret, okay, so you take it down.
Exactly, and not being afraid to be vulnerable and test those waters, right?
Yeah, and that's a personal question. Look, your vulnerability is gonna, change over time, and your personal brand is gonna change over time. Mm-hmm. So lean into that, whatever that is for you. There's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's no rule book, there's no playbook, there's nothing. It's you, yourself, it's your own comfort level.
Love it. Let's play the video, shall we?
Yeah, can I provide just a little context?
Oh, absolutely.
Before we go into,
yeah.
So how many of you are familiar with Dr. Alex Bergia and Dr. Wade Pfau? Sure, right? Okay, right? So they are the Retirement Income Style Awareness Guide. So what you're looking at right now is part of Alex's own promotion to get people to register for a webinar event. Okay, and again, this is attuned to Alex Bergia, a very smart and savvy PhD. And I thought the juxtaposition of what he did with his mom, this is Alex's mom, and this was an actual post on LinkedIn, was brilliant and beautiful.
Let's do it. Oh, just kidding.
Rock the chair.
No, rock into the new year.
Rock into the new year.
With our Retirement Income Masterclass.
Retirement Income.
Rock in.
Rock in.
The new year.
The new year.
Pero hazlo con smile.
Rock in the new year.
With our Retirement Income. Retirement Income. No se la pasó, algo.
Retirement Income.
Masterclass.
Yay for Alex's mom.
I love it. That was a great bit, and I'm just trying to be cognizant of time. We have about 5 minutes here. I really wanted to skip through to a really, really cool example and topic in itself, building sticky communities with genuine connections. And we have, somebody who fostered a really strong network and community. Sitting to my left, Sheryl Hickerson, founder of Females in Finance. And so I thought, who best to address this question? What is a sticky community and why do we care?
Yeah, I think pandemic, I call it the year that shall have no name. I think that we really were missing a lot of community things. I was laughing because inside I remember getting a phone call from Kristen one night, and she lives in Georgia, and she says, "We got to touch each other. We got to get back, people again." So it's the community aspect of getting back in touch with people. But I love the creativity of those who couldn't do that during that time. And I was really sitting back to say, who's going to reinvent? Who's going to do something new? Who's going to do something innovative and build that? And that's one of actually the best years we've ever had at Females in Finance, was because we only could do things online, which meant, guess what? All of you got to know each other in different areas, and we were creating different things out there so that you could connect. And this particular example of someone is a friend of mine and a friend of Kristen's as well, is Meredith Moore. Meredith is in Atlanta, where they were having a hard time. They wanted to be together all the time. And I have to tell you the different levels of why this is super cool. She decided to create this Zoom, but she uses circles. It's an actual app that's based on a Zoom platform. And it's in a circle, like as you can imagine. And she decided to create the Interesting Leaders of Atlanta. And she's the only financial advisor on this call. And she was reaching out to different women who owned businesses in the Atlanta area personally for herself to get to know them. She challenged herself to start knowing more of the people that were in her local area. She would invite, and she actually went a little bit further because she's very extra, if you know Meredith. And she was sending out like an Uber Eats. She was getting their order in for lunch. They came to have lunch together on this call. Yes, she does take a picture of them. Then she repurposes that by using special software, doing the Uber Eats. All of these people are, guess what, getting to know each other during a time that was really rough and finding out ways they could do business together. She continued that on, though, well beyond when people were actually meeting back in person again. Posted on LinkedIn, tags everybody, talks about it, and guess what? She has gotten a ton of business from this, and I think it is just incredibly brilliant to think about how can we be innovative in a space and make it still very, very sticky. And you all can apply these exact same examples to your own business, and you can even copy Meredith. She'll be okay with it. You use these kinds of examples of ways that you can be doing that in your own practice so that you can bring people who may be far out and bringing them in, inclement weather, bringing them in, and creating a community of your own that, guess what, you get to be to lead. You get to be the go-to person for that. It was just absolutely well done. Wonderful.
Yeah, someone else who did that was Ryan Shanks.
The Quarantina. I was going to give him a shout out, and I was like, well,
for a cocktail.
I didn't choose him for my example. I chose Meredith.
For those that may have run across that, it was another good example.
No, exactly. I do run females in finance, so I did pick a woman on this, but no, I did participate in all of it. And Ryan's one of my great friends, so no, this is brilliant.
Thanks, Sheryl. Yeah. I know, Keon, you had a really great example. This is actually a snapshot from your own personal Twitter profile of you doing really well with great things to drive that sticky community for yourself. So tell me about your use of hashtags and why you wanted to feature this post.
Yeah, so this, I think some of you at least here are familiar with what I've been doing now for a little while, but I thought of a fun way to sort of engage more with people in the FinTwit community. And not only get to know them a little bit more personally, right, beyond just, okay, I see their tweets, I like their stuff and so on, but learn some fun facts about people. Sonia actually helped me kick this project off. I didn't really have a need to do this from a business standpoint. It has nothing to do with the job I have and all of that, but kind of ran with it. It's been going for over 3 years now, and basically what I do is every week I reach out to somebody different on Twitter who's in the community, and I say, hey, I want to profile you, send me some fun facts about yourself. And not only have I learned quite a bit more about people that way personally beyond just the surface of the posts that we both we all have on there, but others in the industry and community have also met a bunch of new people that way. So it's thinking of something fun that can help just strengthen the community for everybody, not just yourself.
Thank you, Kian. Guys, I have no idea how this happened. This was so much fun. We have 15 seconds left. I'm so upset we couldn't get to the rest of our examples, but again, we will be sending through an email to anybody who signs up through the QR code. We'll send you key takeaways next week. We will include all of our social media handles. You can reach out personally through email, but please, we want to hold you accountable. Put what you've learned today in practice. Post online, tag us. We'll engage with you. We'll send you feedback and tidbits privately. We'll continue to help, evolve you to enable, building that personal brand and social media connections and hopefully leading to profitable connections. You're a beautiful audience. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you to our lovely panel. Can we get a round of applause for the
You're listening to In the Suite, a podcast that shares amazing stories of women in business in the financial services and the wealth management industry. Our producers are Tina Powell and Kevin Hirschhorn. Our editor-at-large is Kevin Hirschhorn. Our content writers are Danny Wheeler and Tina Powell. In the Suite podcast is sponsored by Intentionally, the growth engine design consultancy firm transforming the way financial technology and financial services companies approach marketing. To learn more, visit intention.ly. And please let us know how you enjoyed this amazing episode and share your thoughts on social media, #InTheSuite. And thank you so, so much for listening and subscribing and giving us 5-star reviews. We're so grateful. You should know that this podcast hit a record number of 10K downloads last month. We're so inspired and so thankful for you. Feel free to email me at tina@inthesuitepodcast.com to pitch guests for seasons 4 and let us know who you want to see here in the suite. Again, thank you so much for listening and subscribing to In the Suite.